So what I'm doing right now is I'm changing the type here, is I'm trying to get my next phrase. So I created my first phrase in Photoshop by using the text tool and the move tool to kind of rearrange the various text in the project. And so right now I'm I've got a couple words that I'm using that are the same, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete this little bit that I don't need, and so I'm just going to rearrange this text here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these around, and you can use these little smart guys, little magenta lines that are appearing to see if you can't line things up a little bit. You can have them in really any order that you like, but this is a good way of kind of rearranging the words to make them look nice, so have them all kind of lined up and arranged sort of in a seemingly intentional way. And I'll speed this up in just a second. Okay, got that falcon here. Pull that to the side. What I'm really going to do here is I'm probably going to change the tracking or the kern, as they say. The tracking just puts spaces between the letters, so you can fill that up without making it super stretched out and long, and has a little graphical look to it, which is nice. And whenever you do this, you'll always put a space at the very end of the last letter too, so it'll kind of make it a little, I wouldn't say difficult, but it can make it tricky to match things up. All right, so I'm just about done with this. Now, in order to make this a new object, I can't just save this. I have to make this a new Photoshop file. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to File. I'm going to click Save As, and I'll apply the changes here. And I can already see my phrase 1, so I'm just going to keep my naming convention and call this phrase 2. And I'll make sure I have that document able to be compatible with other Photoshop files, and I can make some adjustments and just save it here. But if I want to alter the first one, I can. I need to open up the first one here. Let me just speed this up a little bit. Okay, so what I'm essentially doing here is I am going through, and I'm just adjusting for each separate thing, and really at some point during the edit, I'm going to save this as a new document, right? And so I've got my next line to this poem that I'm going to kind of go through here. Arrange these letters in some way, and we'll save this, and then we'll press Save As and make a new file, and then we'll go ahead and edit the next line. You want to make sure each word is on its own layer, so each word has to be its own element. You hold Alt and drag to make a new one. Think in terms of what's the most important word in each phrase. You can have that kind of emphasized. If you want to make a new font, you want to get a new font, you can go to different websites to download new fonts. And I'm just going to show you just kind of how this is working here. So save that, and then press File, Save As, and form a new one. Right? And so that's how for each phrase, we want to press Save As and make a brand new document, a brand new Photoshop file. All right, so we'll just pause it there, and you can kind of see what's happening. I'll speed this up even more, and you can kind of see as I'm going through. And I'll put this on YouTube in just a second here.